Target a player, target a creature, and the reactor core goes critical. That's how you do it, folks. Uncommon only, guys. Pushing it up. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. And tonight, we have a very special treat for you. I've seen a lot of guys in my comments saying, what is a good starter deck? How do I get started? I just came to Magic the Gathering. I don't have a lot of rares. What could I do? Well, now with Brothers War coming up in only about a week now, we got a new set coming. We got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Now's a great time to get into the game. And if you're new to the game, welcome. And welcome to the villains. But I'm going to show you a really, really effective Rakdos, meaning black and red, artifact sacrifice deck. Now this means that this deck does not use any rares or mythic rares at all. It is only uncommons and common cards. So it's fairly cheap to build and it's very effective. So before we get into that, I need you to do something for me. Do you know what I need for you? You can do to help me out here? Tenderly press that like button. Gently press that subscribe button. Or else, well guys, if you don't do those things, well, the like and subscribe will come and brutally maul you if you don't. He will absolutely attack the heck out of you and rip you up because he's Phyrexian now. Join us on a stream every night at twitch.tv/thatvillainej for all the live streaming goodness. We would love to have you there on the stream. You can see how we build these decks in real time, chat with everybody. You can check out our Discord community for all the latest news and information. Anything that you want, Brothers War spoilers, deck help, it's all there on our Discord. And of course, this deck and all the other ones that I build are available down below on my AetherHub. So you can check out my AetherHub too. Okay, so what are we talking about when we talk about Rakdos sacrifice artifacts here? Again, these are all rare and common and uncommon. 0 rares, 0 mythic rares. So we're going to start with Kumano faces Kakkazan. We're going to want to put damage down range. And the exile ability of the ultimate here, and when it has the etchings of Kumano, the 2/2, if a creature would die, it's exiled. Very, very useful for a little graveyard hate. So things can't kind of get out of there. A little bit of damage, a little bit of charge up for some creatures. Super effective uncommon card. Probably one of the best red uncommon cards out there right now. Voldaren Epicure, another great card that does a lot of things for 1 red mana. A 1/1, 1 red mana creature, and it deals 1 damage to an opponent instantly, so it's a little ping. And it creates a blood token, which we're going to need because blood tokens are artifacts. Is really super effective. It is really, really super effective. When you hit the sacrifice on there, you can draw a card, or we're going to be able to use it to fuel our other crazy machines. They are all going to be blood fueled. So that's going to be really, really effective there. Volt Surge, a great blast card, a great lightning bolt-like card. 2 damage to any creature as an instant. However, creature or planeswalker. However, if you sacrifice a artifact, that's the additional cost. You can do 4 damage, which can take out a whole myriad of creatures. It can kill even a Shakedown Heavy right there. All you need to do is sacrifice an artifact. We're going to have plenty of them in the form of blood tokens and all sorts of other things like that. So really effective for removal. We're also going to run Infernal Grasp because sometimes you just need to not mess around and just get to the removing, man. Sometimes you don't need to. You don't need to half it, man. I don't care about losing the life. With with Oni-Cult Anvil, we are going to be gaining life incrementally. We are going to be hitting a gain and drain incremental pop there. So that's actually really good. So I'm not worried about that. Dragonspark Reactor. This card has saved my life a couple of times. Comes highly recommended by Country Fried from It Resolves, of course. 1 red and 1, it's an artifact. What does this thing mean? Whenever Dragonspark Reactor or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a charge on it. Now, you can pay 4 of any mana, sacrifice it. It deals damage equal to the number of charges on it to target player and that much to 1 creature. If you have been charging your reactor and you go critical at the right time, that'll win you the game. More often than not, when I set the reactor to critical here and we blow it up, it wins me the game because it usually has enough damage on it that'll wipe out one of their blockers, their main blockers, and do enough damage that sometimes just outright kills them. Now remember, this isn't play a artifact card. What it's actually telling you here is if you, anytime an artifact enters the battlefield, so anything like Voldaren Epicure, when you have a blood token enter, or any one of these other small artifacts enter, it's going to charge up more and more and more and more. Sanguine Statuette is a great little combo here that you can play. 1 red and 1. When Sanguine Statuette enters the battlefield, create a blood token. Whenever you sacrifice a blood token, you have made Sanguine Statuette become a 3/3 vampire artifact creature with haste until the end of turn. So sacrificing those blood tokens will, of course, accelerate this thing into a 3/3. It becomes an animated vampire, which is really cool. It creates blood tokens, but only 2 of them is fine. Sokenzan Smelter. Here is our assembly line of little evil Oni constructs here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 red, sacrifice an artifact. If you do, create a 3/1 red construct artifact creature token with haste. What does that mean? That means that we can take the 1/1 little G.I. Joe versions of these artifacts that we made with the Oni-Cult Anvil, and turn them into 3/1s, which obviously ups the power a lot. And when we're sending a lot of 3/1s downrange, that's going to get real deadly real quickly. It really is going to affect people when you're pushing that much power downrange. Bloodtithe Harvester. Now this guy sees play even at the highest level. This is a very, very good card. 1 black, 1 red, classic Rakdos, 3/2 vampire. When Bloodtithe Harvester enters the battlefield, create a blood token. Very nice. Of course, that will charge the reactor as well, because the reactor runs on blood. Sacrifice Bloodtithe Harvester. Target creature gets -X into the urn, where X is twice the number of blood tokens. Activate only as a sorcery. If we have 3 blood tokens, we can sacrifice this thing and potentially kill a Sheoldred, because the Sheoldred's only 5. We would give it -6. We can get rid of big things like that if we give it enough power going in there. If we have enough blood to fuel it, it's very effective. We do have to sacrifice it, but don't worry. Sacrifice is something we're willing to deal with in this. We're going to have an upside to sacrificing on this. So blood, creating artifacts, removal, and just a nice aggressive 3 right down on turn 2. If you blast people out of the way, he can get a couple of good licks in. Oni-Cult Anvil, absolutely essential. As an artisan card, probably one of the best sacrifice outlets as an artisan card right now for Rakdos. 1 red, 1 black. When 1 or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Sacrifice an artifact. Oni-Cult Anvil deals 1 damage to each opponent. You gain 1 life. So it will have a whole process of things. So if you tap it, you sacrifice an artifact, which can be a blood token. It deals 1 damage, and we gain 1 life, so you get the gain and drain effect. And then, of course, when we sacrifice the artifact, we get a 1/1 colorless construct, little G.I. Joe Oni monster right there, which is really cool. And then, of course, down the assembly line we go. We turn blood into these guys, and then we turn these guys into bigger boys, and that's just the way it goes, man. And then we turn bigger boys into attacks, and turn those into pain, and turn the pain into wins. So that's the assembly line we're going to run on Oni-Cult using blood, and the effects of that going in. And again, all for cheap, man. All for dirt cheap. As you can see, there's not very many expensive. We're only now getting to the 3 drops. Morbid Opportunist. This is a really good one here. 1/3, black and 2. When 1 or more creatures you control dies, when 1 or more other creatures dies, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if you had a few more of these sideboarded. I wouldn't be mad if you had another one of these in the sideboard. I wouldn't care. It is very useful with a deck this cheap to keep a constant flow of cards going into your hand, keeping a constant steady pressure up of mana, of aggression, of damage, and of putting things that will make blood tokens and artifacts so you have them to sacrifice going forward. That is very, very effective. So Morbid Opportunist is a really, really good one. And when you combine it with how much sacrifice and other stuff you're going to do, how much removal, you're always going to be drawing an extra card every turn very, very frequently. You can guarantee that with Lagomos, Hand of Hatred. This is the new Dominaria ad that I feel really fits in, and I really wanted to find a shell for him to go in, and he fits very nicely in this one. 1 red, 1 black, and 1. At the beginning of a combat on your turn, create a 2 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste, meaning that he can go right over and he can attack right away. Sacrifice at the beginning of an X step. He will summon this elemental. You can see that it's a literal Hand of Hatred coming out. It is a crazy looking flame chain elemental guy going in. He is going to go nuts, fly in and do an aggressive hit. Again, if you're putting in all the Sokenzan little constructs and all the other little guys, death by 1,000 cuts here. You've been gaining and draining. You've been charging the reactor core, and pushing in that 2/1 every turn is just super, super effective. And then, of course, you have the ability when you have all these little tokens out, search your library for a card, put it onto your hand, and then shuffle. He has that kind of ability of Demonic Tutor. Activate only if 5 or more creatures die this turn. If you swarm with a big attack and you lose a bunch of creatures, you will get that Demonic Tutor ability out of Lagomos' Hand of Hatred out of there. I also think he is a reference to Manos, the Hands of Fate, which is one of the worst movies ever made. Mystery Science Theater talked about it. 3000 talked about it. If you know, you know. 9 swamps, 11 mountains, a little bit more red than black. As you can see, we're kind of a little heavier on the red. 2 Bloodfell Caves and 2 Tramway Stations. The Tramways were a great additional add here because late in the game they can add a little extra card draw. I know these come in tapped, but we don't have that many early plays. I think it's worth it to make sure that we're getting our draws here, because ultimately one of the biggest flaws of running Artisan in a double color is that you do lose some of that flexibility with the more expensive lands. So that's what we're going to be looking at here. Not an expensive deck, 1.9 with 24 lands. I kept droughting. If you feel like you don't need the 61, hey, drop it, man. Go to 60. That's fine. If you're flooding too much, I don't care. You can do it like that. We have our cool Demon Rakdos backs on there. 17 creatures all together, all over the place. Artificer, Goblin, Human, Shaman, Vampire, whatever. Decent amount of vampires, actually. 8 instants, 10 artifacts, 2 enchantments, 23 lands altogether. Sometimes 24, depending on the build. Again, almost double the amount of red than you do black, but you do want to make sure you hit those blacks because those are going to be essential for Oni-Cult Anvil and the other stuff that you have. You don't want to be locked out of not having black mana, but you do want to favor red a little bit because you're probably going to be needing a little bit more. Not too heavy on creatures, but remember we have a couple of cards that generate more creatures, so even though we are light on creatures there, don't worry about that too much. We're not going for the 20-20-20 split that most decks do. We are going to have a little bit more effectiveness overall, and again, just charge the line, keep aggression on them, get very, very aggro, and then boom, once you're ready, once the blood has fueled this enough, hit the reactor core and explode them to death. Here's the alternate view right there, boom, and there we go. Almost everything at 2 and a couple on 3, only 5 at 3 right there. You really only need 2 or 3 or 4 mana to run this. It is super effective, and we actually take it in. I'm going to start in unranked, but we are going to take it into ranked. We actually do get a couple good kills on ranked, and this is an uncommon only deck. This is an artisan deck getting kills on stuff against that's got Sheldred and other mythic rares and super high power stuff, so it really does stand up. So we are going to go into standard play first just to kind of get our sea legs in, our Rakdos legs in, and then we will run it in ranked and see how she flies. All right, fun fact, when the game crashed before, guys, we lost all the footage, so now I've got to redo some games. Isn't that fun? Ooh, that's not good. Mulligan that. Keep, drop. Kumano. Win. Right. Do that and turn. Okay. mulch. Very nice. Enter. Okay, Gloom Shrieker, nice. Resolve. Just gonna bring that one back. My turn. Bloodtithe Harvester. Push one in. Pop. Okay. Another one down. Okay. Alright, so we can do that. Rid of that. Push. Excellent. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, he's got a death guy in. Right. Pop a bear. Alright, we're really gonna come at him hard now. Let's do that. Swing in. Yes. There we go. He's got a Dreadhound, but I don't... That is a little deadly, but I don't think it's going to be enough, man. No, it ain't going to be enough. Not when we do this. No, it's that's going to be too much damage. Push it down range. Yeah, it's going to be exactly 4. Pop, 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 boom. There we go. Well, not exactly 4, a little bit more, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Not bad. Not bad. We lost all of our unranked, so I think we'll just hurry up and take it into ranked. Then it's going to be a short video, but we'll take it into ranked. We did modify it as we went, though. But you're going to have the standard build out, the final build out on this one. So let's go into ranked then. All right. So a super funny thing happened when the game crashed earlier during the stream, and the game crashed during the stream. We lost all that footage. It got corrupted, which is really great to see. So now I only have about half the footage that I wanted to do. So I'm throwing in this bonus game here for you in Unranked that we can actually see what this deck can do in Unranked because, well, guess what? When Magic the Gathering Arena, trademark, patent pending, went absolutely bonkers, it deleted and gave a corrupt version of the file footage. So that's really good to see. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm not happy about that. I am not happy about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do that. I think I'm gonna blast the reactor critical next turn. Yeah, so you guys are getting a bonus game and a short video this time. I'm not happy about doing a short video. And when I was just about to edit, I'm not happy about having to go back and saying, oh, I was done for the night. And it turns out I wasn't done for the night. Yeah. Shivan Devastator, very nice. 2 blasts right there. Alright. You can put them both in. Block 1 with 1. Alright, my turn. Oh, okay. Well, we can just do this. We'll have to send it critical next turn. He's probably got some more haste going in right now. Zumpin'. Kami's Flare, very nice. Antagonize, nice. A lot of damage there, fantastic. Let's crack that. No attacks. Lightning Strike for 3, and then another blast is going to hit me directly. Yeah, you lose your avatar. All right. Bargain or score. Let's do Bloodfell. Gain a life there. Let's do Infernal. Okay. We should start a GoFundMe to finance their debugging. Isn't financing their debugging, isn't that what we do when we buy packs? I thought that's what that was happening there. Apparently I'm wrong, though. Apparently I'm the one in the wrong. Alright, let's do that. Alright, excellent. Let's try Lagomos. Let's do this. Allegedly. Hey, one. Some of that one. Let's push them in, boys. Okay. And Swayso says, Sawayaso said, no thank you, man. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. We're gonna need about 350. That's actually not bad. Bloodfell to Bloodtithe, yeah. Let's do Bloodfell. I don't think we're gonna need the Volt Surge on the first go around there, man. We can do that. Bloodtithe. Oof. Okay. Tree Fitty. Okay, so he's got that. Why don't we do Lagomos Hand of Hatred? Push these crazy guys in. Push these kooky boys in, man. Alright, he is debating everything right now. Debating his whole life. Okay, let's do that. Keep a 2-land on hand. Draw. Okay, that's a kill card. We have the Volt Surge there. Okay. Pass. Whoops. Put a guy out. What's he doing? What's he really doing, man? Huh. Lagomos. Okay. He may have a blast card. He may have a... Well, he hasn't yet, so might as well push it. Okay, so he's that.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it. My judgment. Our swords will cross again.
Voldaren Epicure. Okay. Alright. You do not trust 4 untapped mana? Yeah. I don't trust untapped mana, period. I thought he had an edge Ganjgo there, that he was going to try to Ganjgo with me. Yeah, Opportunist was probably the better bet. He's going to try... Well, you have any 1-drops he can bring back? No, he doesn't. I'm just going to kill that and rush him. So, he's pretty effed in the A, as they say right here, boys. As the kids say, effed in the A right now. We're going to do Dragon. Sorry. Dragon. Alright. And we're going to do that. He's got an instant? What's going on here? He's got a 1-cost white instant? What? Shield token or something? What is he doing? He's just gonna obliviate me, okay. Let's lose that one. Okay, well, we got that out of the way. Sanctuary Ward. Sanguine Statuette. Take action. Tramway Station. If we do Volt Surge, submit 0, draw, Dragonspark Reactor, and then we put down that, and then we attack with everything. I think we can make the reactor go critical. Yeah, we can make the reactor go critical before he can kill me. As long as he doesn't gain any life here, I think we'll be okay. Another Sanctuary Ward, that's fine. That's fine, we can deal with that. All we need is a critical reactor. All we need is a critical reactor core. Okay, so we can swap that. We can try to overload the reactor a little bit more. Nope, that ain't gonna cut it. Target a player. Target creature. And the reactor core goes critical. That's how you do it, folks. Uncommon only, guys. Pushing it up. There you go, Country Fried. Talking about that reactor core business right there, man. Sometimes you just gotta have the, you just gotta overload the core, man. You gotta pull all the cooling rods out. You just gotta let it go critical. Yeah, it comes in clutch, man. When you need it, when you need to close the game out, that's really the game closer right there. Ultimately, like when you just absolutely positively need the game to just go off. That's what'll close it for you. So really good deck. I mean, I think for being a uncommon deck, I think we held up very nicely. I think we did okay with it, man. For a cheap starter deck, man, I think we're doing good for ourselves. To be frank, if I can be frank. Well, I'm Jay, I can't be frank. So we're gonna leave it right there, folks. Pretty good. Aside from the game hard crashing a couple of times, we think it did okay. I think we're all right. A great starter deck for you and anyone you want to get into. I've been Jay Villain, and you've been great, guys. I will talk to you later, and see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.